is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, the U.S. Department of Justice has confirmed a federal civil rights investigation into the shooting of Jacob Blake on Sunday.
This evening, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul held a press conference where he discussed what led to the shooting.
During the investigation following the initial incident, Mr. Blake admitted that he had a knife in his possession, and DCI agents, that's the Division of Criminal Investigation, recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. A search of the vehicle located no additional weapons.
The Attorney General says officers initially responded to a call from a woman who said her boyfriend was on her property and he wasn't supposed to be there. When trying to arrest Blake, he says officers tried to use a taser, but it was unsuccessful. Authorities have also identified the officer who shot Blake as Rustin Shesky. They say he has been with the department for 7 years and say no other officers fired their guns during the incident. The officers are still on leave and Blake remains in the hospital. His family says he is paralyzed from the waist down.
In downtown Madison tonight, protesters are marching through the streets for the 4th straight night following that shooting. Our Adam Duxter's live with an update on their message tonight. Adam?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, we've been out here with this group for the better part of an hour and 15 minutes now, and over the course of that time, everything has stayed peaceful. And where we're at right now is the about 150 to 200 people that are in this group have gathered at the top of State Street here, and there's been a number of different speakers sharing their message for about the last half hour or so, including Althea Bernstein, who back in June became national news after she says she was allegedly doused with lighter fluid and then set on fire, sparking a federal investigation into those acts. And when Althea Bernstein addressed the group, she said tonight's the first night since that night in June that she has returned to downtown, but wanted to be a part of this movement here tonight. So again, things have been going here for a little bit about over an hour and 15 minutes, but have stayed peaceful. And again, we'll join you later in the show with an update.
Adam Duxter, live downtown. Adam, thank you. And the protests aren't just happening here in Wisconsin. Coast to coast, from Los Angeles to New York City, crowds are gathering. This is video from downtown L.A., where about 300 people met outside the Hall of Justice there. Today marked the 3rd night of protests in L.A. in response to the events in Kenosha.
The Milwaukee Bucks today making a stand by boycotting their playoff game against the Orlando Magic. The decision prompted the NBA to postpone all 3 playoff games scheduled for tonight, and the Bucks were not alone. The Milwaukee Brewers also deciding not to play their game tonight. We'll have more on this story coming up in sports. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is speaking out about what is happening here in Wisconsin. In a message posted on Twitter today, Biden says justice will be served for Jacob Blake while also calling for peace.
Protesting brutality is a right and absolutely necessary. But burning down communities is not protest, it's needless violence. Violence that endangers lives, violence that guts businesses and shutters businesses that serve the community. That's wrong.
And President Trump announced this afternoon that Governor Evers has agreed to accept federal assistance after a deadly night of protests in Kenosha. The president tweeted, quote, "We will not stand for looting, arson, violence, and lawlessness on American streets. My team just got off the phone with Governor Evers, who agreed to accept federal assistance." In addition to that federal help, Governor Evers is authorizing 500 members of the National Guard tonight. It comes after a 3rd consecutive night of violent demonstrations and a shooting that left 2 dead and a 3rd injured. That shooter has been identified as 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, who is now charged with murder and will make an extradition court appearance on Friday. Cell phone video shows a person with a semi-automatic rifle being chased by demonstrators. The gunman fell to the ground and then started shooting. He was arrested this morning in Illinois, about 20 miles south of Kenosha.
Peaceful protests are welcome. It is a way, it has always been a way for the American public to speak their mind. We support that. I support that as an individual. We cannot support violence. When the line crosses from stating one's opinions to taking violent actions and hurting people, damaging property, and generally unruly behavior, that must stop. It not only is it bad for the community, it detracts from the message.
Now, the victims in the shootings overnight were a 26-year-old from the village of Silver Lake in Kenosha County and a 36-year-old city of Kenosha resident. The other victim, who is expected to survive, is a 26-year-old from West Allis. Police today also announced there would be a 7 p.m. curfew every night in Kenosha until Sunday.
A downtown Madison business is donating proceeds from today's sales to the YWCA's mission to empower women and eliminate racism in Madison. According to a Facebook post, Little Luxuries, a gift shop on State Street, is donating 19% of sales, quote, in continued recognition of Juneteenth and what it stands for, end quote. The post says they believe in educating ourselves and others, and that the YWCA has an array of racial justice and equity programs. And as we learn more about what happened in Kenosha and the protests and demonstrations that followed, be sure to stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for the latest updates.
Well, let's turn to weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our first warn forecast. Gary.
Well, it was another hot day today, and we'll probably see one for tomorrow before thunderstorms break the heat for the end of the week. We have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow for high temperatures around 90 with the heat index from 93 to 98. But we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms later tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. High winds, hail, and heavy rainfall, all threats. Tonight, all the thunderstorms have been up to the north into northern Wisconsin and parts of central Minnesota. But tomorrow, the severe weather threat shifts southward. There's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms over all of southern Wisconsin, and that even continues into Friday. High temperatures today hit 90 in Madison for the 8th time this year. 93, the high in Janesville, Boscobel, and La Crosse topped out at 97. Current temperatures are still well into the 70s. Madison is still above 80 at 82 with a dew point temperature of 70, so it feels more like temperatures are in the middle to upper 80s. By tomorrow morning, we'll drop to 72 degrees. Tomorrow, look for a high of 90, but there will be some late afternoon thunderstorms. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes more seasonal weather as we head into the weekend.
We just heard from Vice President Mike Pence as night 3 of the Republican National Convention wraps up.
He spoke about the president's handling of the pandemic as well as the civil unrest, including here in Wisconsin. Madeline O'Neill joins us now to bring us the highlights. Maddie?
Well, Pence has officially accepted the nomination to run as vice president for the Republican Party. Pence delivered his speech from Fort McHenry, the site of the battle that inspired the national anthem. Pence praised the president's actions over the past 4 years, pointing to his focus on the military and economy, and said that Trump's actions in stopping travel from China and fighting the pandemic saved, quote, untold lives. He then shifted gears to the unrest in our country, saying we don't have to choose between supporting law enforcement and helping black communities.
So let me be clear. The violence must stop, whether in Minneapolis, Portland, or Kenosha. Too many heroes have died defending our freedom to see Americans strike each other down. We will have law and order on the streets of this country for every American of every race and creed and color.
We also want to show you a moment from earlier in the night when congressional nominee Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina, who was paralyzed from a car accident, made this call to the country.
Be a radical for freedom. Be a radical for liberty. And be a radical for our republic, for which I stand. One nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Now, here are 3 takeaways from tonight. Number 1, police as heroes. There was a clear theme of law enforcement support throughout the night. Speakers blamed Democrats for the recent violence in cities and, to quote Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, for wanting to cancel police. Vice President Pence spoke out against defunding police and briefly mentioned Kenosha when calling for law and order. Then number 2, focus on ideals. Along with the theme of law and order, Republicans emphasized freedom and less government control. Pence tried to set the RNC apart from the DNC last week, where he said speakers painted a grim picture of the country. Instead, Pence says the country needs someone who believes in America. And number 3, women's suffrage, with this year marking the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment being ratified. Many speakers talked about the importance of women's right to vote. Women, including White House Counselor Kellyanne Conway, talked about the support they've gotten from the president.
Maddie, thank you. To our coronavirus headlines now. State and local health officials confirm over 740 new cases today. In total, Wisconsin has had more than 72,000 cases. About 7,500 of those remain active. There have been more than 1,100 deaths. Wisconsin's positivity rate up by 1 percentage point, sitting at 7.4% today. The 7-day average is at about 8%. A group of parents in private religious schools want the state Supreme Court to nullify Dane County's recent order to have 3rd through 12th graders start the year virtually. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed a petition today on behalf of 14 parents parents in 5 schools. That petition challenges the authority of Janelle Heinrich, Director of Public Health, Madison and Dane County. The Institute for Law and Liberty filed a separate lawsuit with the High Court just yesterday, also challenging Heinrich's authority to keep those students home.
UW-Madison has launched a new website that keeps an eye on COVID-19 on campus. It tracks the number of students and staff tested each day and the number of positive cases to help follow the virus's spread. According to data last updated yesterday afternoon, the university has conducted about 3,000 tests since August 6th. A total of 36 people, 33 students, and 3 employees have tested positive. An additional 87 students and 8 employees have tested positive at an off-campus testing site. UW-Madison has hired 35 contact tracers to work with state and local health officials to notify anyone who tests positive. Anyone who does will be required to self-isolate. The university has room for roughly 1,000 people to quarantine on campus, or they do have the choice to return home.
On Friday, the Memorial Union Terrace as well as the Union South Plaza will be closing to the public. 2 unions will only be available to current students, faculty, and staff for studying, dining services, and meeting space for the fall semester. Anyone entering those areas will be required to present a valid WIS card and wear a face covering. And starting next week, a stretch of the Capital City Trail will close for at least 2 months. That'll be for repaving. A 1-mile stretch of that trail between Fish Hatchery Road and Seminole Highway will close on September 8th. County officials said the work is expected to be complete by November. Alternate routes will be posted during construction.
Still to come at 10, the Overture Center is getting involved in a nationwide effort tonight. Plus, an update to Hurricane Laura, expected to make landfall on the U.S. Gulf Coast in just a matter of hours. We'll have the latest for you next.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at Hy-Vee.
This simple toolkit assembled in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin will build U.S. Army barracks anywhere in the world. It can change lives too. Just ask Easton. He'll tell you how this job gave him an opportunity to serve the military, make a real difference, and reach his full potential. See for yourself how a career at IBVI changed Easton's life, and see how it can change yours too at ibvican.org.
Get free Sprecher beer or soda for the entire football season right now during STEINHAFELS Made in the USA sale. Save 35 to 75% store-wide, plus get an extra $50 off and Wisconsin-made Sprecher beer or soda. STEINHAFELS has the largest selection of quality American-made furniture and mattresses, and it's all on sale. Plus, get special financing for 60 months and free in-carton shipping. Save big and enjoy a Sprecher on us when you shop STEINHAFELS Made in the USA sale.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Get the refrigerator you've always wanted now at the Brothers Maine Big Deal Refrigerator Sale. Save big on the latest from GE. French doors, black stainless, and smart refrigerators, all with 0% financing up to 18 months. And you'll get our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We make it easy to be confident in your new refrigerator. It's the Big Deal Refrigerator Sale with more selection, more savings, and more big confidence only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Getting back on the bus to head back to school this year may cause some extra anxiety for both kids and parents. Find out how districts returning to in-person instruction are working to give students safe rides on the next News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Today is Women's Equality Day, marking 100 years since women were guaranteed the right to vote. In honor of that, Overture Center in downtown Madison joined buildings and landmarks across the country lighting up in purple and gold as part of the nationwide Forward into Light campaign. It's named in honor of the historic suffrage slogan, Forward Through the Darkness, Forward into Light. The occasion also was celebrated in New York City today with the unveiling of this new statue, the first one in Central Park showing real women. It's also the first there to depict an African-American, 7 years in the making. Famed suffragist Sojourner Truth, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Susan B. Anthony now have a home in the park, memorialized in the Women's Rights Pioneers Monument.
We want to get you an update now from downtown Madison, where protesters have gathered for a fourth night. Our Adam Duxter is live there with the latest. Adam?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, still very peaceful along the top of State Street here at the state capitol as the group still continues to grow. I'd say it's about 200 people total. And again, today's event started just about an hour and a half ago as the group started at Library Mall. And for about a half hour was walking up State Street and then cut across Gorham, trying to grow the group, encourage some of the nearby apartment complexes and condos, people up there to come down and join, and then made their way back up here to this top of State about 45 minutes to 50 minutes ago. And again, that's where we've been ever since. One main speaker tonight that is of interest, again, Althea Bernstein, who we mentioned off the top of the show, spoke and addressed the crowd. And of course, Bernstein back in June allegedly was lit on fire and has launched a hate crime investigation, a federal hate crime investigation since then. And she told the group tonight was actually her first time out in downtown Madison since those events allegedly happened back in June. So again, we'll continue to keep you updated, but things are still very, very peaceful here at the top of State in downtown Madison.
Adam Duxter live tonight. Adam, thank you.
Another huge story at this hour. Hurricane Laura, powerful and dangerous Category 4 storm, is forecast to make landfall early tomorrow somewhere near the Texas-Louisiana border. Winds could exceed 150 miles per hour. Flooding rains are expected along with a threat of tornadoes. A storm surge of 20 feet or higher is expected along the coast and may sweep buildings completely away, even miles from shore. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards warned of the power of this storm, saying his state has not seen these potential dangers in decades.
You're going to hear the word unsurvivable to describe the storm surge that we are expecting.
Now, some evacuees are being housed in hotels because of coronavirus concerns. Shelters in Texas and Louisiana are filling up fast and doing everything they can to keep people safe from the storm and the virus.
Let's go to Gary now for a look at our forecast as he also keeps a close eye on the hurricane.
Well, it's just getting close to making landfall in the next few hours. Very clearly, you can see the eye of the storm. We're looking at high-resolution Doppler radars from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas, as well as Fort Polk, Louisiana. And you can see as these strong spiraling bands of showers and thunderstorms move inland, tornado warnings have been issued along the coast. Some of these storms, and in the actual text of the tornado warning, these storms are moving to the northwest at 85 miles an hour. So embedded tornadoes will move very quickly into areas that are seeing already sustained winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And the worst of the storm still offshore in the eye wall, which is just to the south of the coast. Hurricane warnings remain in effect into parts of central Louisiana. Tropical storm warnings as far north as southern Arkansas because of the fast movement of this storm that will bring the strong winds inland much farther than a normal hurricane. Plus, the strength of this storm, you have to see to believe. The maximum sustained winds right now, sustained winds, 150 miles per hour. That's like an EF3 tornado with gusts to 185 miles per hour, and that's in the band about 25 miles around the eye of the storm. Now, the latest forecast track brings it inland, perhaps as a strong Category 4, maybe borderline Category 5. If it reaches Category 5 strength before it hits land, that will be the sixth landfalling hurricane of Category 5 strength in the United States history. But you can see, even as it's moving into western portions of Louisiana and eastern Texas, maximum sustained winds by 7 a.m. still 110 miles per hour with gusts to 130 miles per hour. It will weaken into a very strong tropical storm as it moves through Arkansas, and then even maintains tropical storm strength into southeastern Missouri and the western portion of Kentucky. But eventually, it becomes extratropical in nature, meaning it loses its tropical characteristics, but still seeing strong winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour, and then it moves back out into the Atlantic Ocean, where it could re-intensify into a tropical weather system and then races into the northern Atlantic with winds of 50 miles per hour as we pass through the weekend into the early part of next week. Around here, things very quiet in southern Wisconsin. There have been some showers, a couple of isolated thunderstorms up to the north. Those will stay toward the north for tonight. Now tomorrow, as this cold front sags southward into the hot and humid air, we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe thunderstorms, hail, high winds, heavy rainfall, the main threats. And then on Friday, that severe weather threat continues into southern Wisconsin, but probably ends late in the day. And there could be some rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches. Other areas could see less than that. So our forecast for tomorrow, a high of 90 degrees, hot and humid, heat index 93 to 98, and then some thunderstorm chances late in the day. You can see this on Future Track. Look for the thunderstorm chances tomorrow afternoon into Friday morning, and then Friday during the day, another round of showers and thunderstorms, high temperatures around 80. And again, hard to pinpoint exactly who's going to get the heaviest rain. Some areas 1 to 2 inches, other areas less than that if you miss out on the heavier thunderstorms. 7 to 10 day forecast, though, calls for the storms to end by Friday night. Then nice weather for the weekend, sunny skies, highs mid-70s, thunderstorms Monday into Tuesday, and then another chance toward the end of next week. But that could set up nice weather for the Labor Day weekend, which is the following weekend, with high temperatures in the middle 70s. So keep your fingers crossed for that.
But a lot to watch on the Gulf Coast the next few hours into the morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough night there.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Well, just ahead in sports, the Milwaukee Bucks leading the change for social justice in the NBA. How they put the league on hold. Got the Brewers to follow their lead. Zachson next with sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Buy a select 2020 Volkswagen today, and you won't pay any interest for the next 6 years. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 and 2020 models.
3 days only. It's the end of summer sale at Grand Appliance. Get the area's lowest appliance prices, plus up to $600 in extra savings on top appliance brands exclusively at Grand. Shop in store or online at grandappliance.com August 27th through the 29th for great deals like $1,150 off this mega capacity LG washer dryer pair featuring turbo wash and steam cleaning. Grand Appliance and TV, trusted since 1930.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are lower than the everyday low. So go ahead, get lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Gene, did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
That's great.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? John Stamos to knit you a scarf?
All finished, Gene. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I give.
The stitch work is impeccable.
That's just a double fleck pattern with a reverse garter stitch. No big deal.
Is your hair this soft?
Softer.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
I like to drive. I used to think I was a pretty good driver.
But now Joe Biden's taken a sharp left turn. Buckle up for his $4 trillion tax hike. Biden's plan raises taxes on small business, reversing the recovery. He's pledged to eliminate blue-collar oil and gas jobs. And analysts estimate stocks would crash up to 25% if Biden takes the wheel, crushing your retirement.
This is just bold.
Hit the brakes on Biden. He'll wreck our economy. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When you put money in a big bank, there it goes. But when you keep your money at Associated Bank, it gets invested close to home. It might become this family's renovation or help this little one's college fund. It could build local business or your favorite neighborhood spot. Because when you bank with Associated Bank, your money works in your community. All you have to do is make a simple choice. Send your money there or keep it here. Associated Bank. Your money works here.
Buy a select 2020 Volkswagen today, and you won't pay any interest for the next 6 years. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 and 2020 models.
bubble to do these things for social justice and all that. And to see it still going on, and we're just playing the games like it's nothing. It's just a really messed up situation.
The Bucks aren't just being the change, they're leading it. They were the first team to protest following the killing of George Floyd. Today, they boycotted Game 5 against the Magic, a playoff game in protest of the shooting of Jacob Blake. At 3 o'clock, Milwaukee was supposed to tip off their game against Orlando, but they didn't take the floor. And that caused the NBA roughly an hour later to postpone the other 2 playoff games that were scheduled for Wednesday night. The Bucks players released a statement following their boycott, saying, "We are expected to play at a high level, give maximum effort, and hold each other accountable. We hold ourselves to that standard, and in this moment, we are demanding the same from our lawmakers and law enforcement." They went on to encourage everyone to educate themselves, take peaceful and responsible action, and to remember to vote on November 3rd.
They showed it. You know, it's not about the game. It's not. It's more than that. And you know, this is a time where, you know, we need to, you know, really not stay quiet.
That was Brewers pitcher Josh Hader at 3:45 on the Bucks boycott. Then at 4:20, the Brewers held a team meeting and decided with the Reds that they will not play their game tonight. The Brewers' motto this season is justice, equality, now. And the crew followed the lead of the Bucks and put their words into action.
At some point, actions speak louder than words, and we felt like today provided a unique opportunity and a moment for us to use our platform to actually put these words and these statements into action.
There comes a time where you have to live it. You have to step up. You can't just wear these shirts and think that's all well and good. And then when it comes time to act on it or make a stand or make a statement, you can't just not do it.
The Badgers showed their support for the Bucks tonight, taking a stand. The Kohl Center and Camp Randall were lit green with justice, equality now, and the Bucks logo shown on the scoreboards. We're back after this.
Ashley Home Store's Labor Day Tempur-Pedic deals start now. Pay $28 per month interest-free for 6 years on Tempur-Pedic, plus $300 in free furniture and free guaranteed delivery within 5 days on in-stock beds. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection, like 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. And get peace of mind with the Ford Promise. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus the peace of mind of the Ford Promise. See your local Ford dealer today.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum is the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows.
With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on-demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go, all from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value. 2 of these for $6 every day. Like Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, all other days. Arby's, we have the meats.
Gear Up for Fall is on now at Sloan Implement. Run with the John Deere 1025R compact utility tractor. Get 0% for 84 months on a 1025R. Get a John Deere now during Gear Up for Fall and Powered Up with Sloan.
Great decision on your new windows. Buy one, get one won't last long.
Have you always been so passionate about windows?
Felco's buy one, get one free windows is totally rad. Felco's energy-efficient windows are a must in every home. So hurry, call now.
You could say that.
Buy one window, get one free, and get no interest for 1 year.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Ashley Home Store's Labor Day sale starts now. Beat the crowds to save up to 50% off special buys and doorbusters. Plus, get a bonus 5% holiday discount at checkout. And 5-year interest-free affordability makes for low monthly payments. Online and in-store at Ashley Home Store.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Look for a high temperature of about 90 tomorrow, some late afternoon thunderstorms. Then thunderstorms Friday, followed by a nice weekend. Some storm chances, but cooler for next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
The escalation of violence in Kenosha is terrifying. All the more so for the equally horrible sense of inevitability. The combination of broken politics, society crumbling beneath the burdens of injustice, inequality, division, anger, and guns, and a surreal public health crisis keeps pushing us to what feels like the brink. But voices of leadership are emerging, and we want to recognize that for reasons of encouragement as much as relief. It requires ignoring the constant drumbeat of blame and political opportunism. Rather, see Madison's new school superintendent, Carlton Jenkins, with State Representative Shelia Stubbs, Mayor Rhodes Conway, and former Mayor Soglin on the streets. Hear Governor Evers' necessarily measured response in support of local officials in Kenosha and community leaders like Michael Johnson, all balancing the need to protest injustice, protect those peaceful protesters, and act against the violent, racist, so-called militias seeking to take advantage of the chaos. Citizen voices must be heard, but voices of leadership are required as well.